Hi all, myself Amulya Chennaboyena. Welcome back to my Python crash course. Let's get started. Today we are going to discuss more topics on identifiers, comments, statements, indentations, docstrings, variables and variable assignments. Identifiers. An identifier is a name given to entities like class, functions, variables. It helps to differentiate one entity from another. So we have couple of restrictions with the identifier. Let's go with them. You cannot use, an identifier shouldn't start with a digit. Suppose, let me execute it. It says that an identifier cannot start with a digit. And you shouldn't use an identifier shouldn't use any special symbols. For example, let's run this. It says invalid syntax, and even you cannot keywords cannot be used as an identifiers. You see the keyword import, so this cannot be used as an identifier. So the correct way of doing it is you have to start with an alphabet, and you can give some number, and you can even use like underscore, and you can print them. Yes. So this is how it goes. So we are going to learn about the comments. Comments can be used to explain the code for more readability. So let me add this as a heading and run it. So we have single line comments, multiple line comments, and multiple line comments can be of two. So let me go with first the single line comment. This is how you write the single line comment. Suppose you have any code down, how it gonna display it? So I may have to print it. Then let me execute it. It doesn't display whatever you provided in the within the pound symbol. And let me go with a multi-line comment. For example. Okay. So this is called multiple line comment, and the other way you can do it is you have to give the 3 single quotes. Hello world. Okay, hello world. Let me copy and paste the same. And next, when you run the code, this is how it doesn't throw any error. So the other way is double quotes. Hello world. This is multiple line comments. Let me make it into 2 lines. So, and let me add the same and execute it. You could see the same. And next we would learn about the statements. So we have single line statement and multiple line statements. So how do we write the single line statement? Let me give the heading. So this is a comment. So for example, we want to do this P2 plus P3. I'm sorry, 10 plus 20 P1. Print of P1. You got the value 30. So this kind of single line statement. But how do we let's go with another example of single line statement. So I took a list. We can discuss about the lists later in this video or a new video. But then this is where you're providing the details to the variable in a single line. But what if you want to give it in a multiple line? How do you do it? So you go like this. P1 equals to 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 plus 70 plus 80. Let's give print of P1. Now just run this code. You get the value. So you're providing the values for a variable in multiple lines. So let's get into the list. Suppose P2 equals to A, comma, B, comma, C, comma, D. And let's print P2. You got the values to a single line, but whatever you provided is multiple line statement. Now let's get into indentation. Indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of the code line. It is very important as Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. If the indentation is not correct, we will end up with indentation error. So let's go. If P double equals to 10, print of p is equal to 10. What just happened? So this is correct indentation, as you have provided the gap after the if statement. And then, so let's run it. So this is a correct indentation. Suppose if we skip that tab space in front of it, it will throw an error, because there should be a gap in bit. Once you open the if loop, you have to provide a statement, and the statement doesn't has any indentation. So that's how you got the error. Let's take another example for this. For I in range of 0, 5, let's suppose think this way. Print of I. So this is a correct indentation where it prints everything. What if you don't give the space? Then it throws the error. Let's do another example with this. For I in range of 0, 5, print of I. So I gave in a single statement, but this is less readable. So if you give it as multiple line, it's more readable. So but then this executes. Okay, let me do with an other example. Suppose j equals to 20. For I in range of 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, print of I, print of j. What do you expect this output would be? Let's check it quickly. So it prints all the I values from 0 to 5, and then it prints the j. So this is an proper indentation. So the for loop expects a statement, and then you have a normal statement, a print statement. So this doesn't has any issue, but here you get the issue because the print statement immediately after if there is no space. So let's go with doc strings in the next thing. This is not that required, but if you want to make sure that your code is more readable even for anyone who opens it without technical knowledge, your code or anything will be defined here. So doc strings provide a convenient way of helping with the documentation with functions, classes, methods, or modules. They appear right after the definition of a function, method, class, or module. So let's suppose let's take a square of a number. Let's suppose this is our definition of function. Then we have to we can give this way. Where function returns a number so let's run this code. Now let's write square of 2. What it returns? 4. Square dot underscore doc underscore 2 docs 2 underscores. So we can access the doc string. Using underscore 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 method underscore underscore doc underscore underscore method. Let me run this. So you got there, square function returns the square of a number. So it prints the comments what tells inside a number. So let's take another example here. Def even odd of number let's suppose even odd function returns the number is either even or odd. Very basic, but then let's do this. Number percentile 2, when you modulate it has to return 0. Then it's a print of even. Else print of odd. So let's run this. Now let's call this function odd of 3. It returned me odd because 3 is odd number. So let's suppose dot underscore underscore doc underscore underscore. Now when you execute it, it displays the command which you have written inside the definition. So this is how a doc string is really helpful. Let me stop here. Variables. So Python variable is a reserved memory location to store values. A variable is created the moment you first assign a value to it. For example, p equals to 30. You have created a variable called p and you assigned a value 30. Now let's run it. Now let's figure out the ID of p. Then it will display a location. It displays the memory address of the variable. So to to get the memory address precisely, you have to use the function hex. So this is the exact memory address of the variable. Suppose if p equals to 20, and then you created a variable q equals to 20 as well, and you made r equals to q, then let's display the values. Print of p, print of type of p, then let's print of hex of id of p. So whenever I'm doing p equals to 20, then it creates an integer object with the value 20 and assigns the variable p to it. And then q, it will create a new reference q which will point out to value 20. So p and q will be pointing out to the same value 20. And then variable r will also point to the same location where p and q are pointing to 20. So let's check it in more practical way. I'm printing out the p value, the type of p, and the memory address where it's located. Now let's do the same for q and do it for r so that we could confirm. Let's change the q. And when you run it, you see it points out to the same address. And when you do it with r, it's gonna be pointing out to the same. So it's something where p and q and r are pointing out to the same memory address. What if we override the value of p? P equals to 20, p equals to p plus 10. Print of p. Now when you run it, it displays this. And when you print of hex of id of p, then it will display a new memory address as the value has been changed. So let's go with the variable assignment. Suppose int variable equals to 10 and float variable equals to 2.57, because that's how the float value should be. It has to be having decimal values after the point. And then the string variable equals to, suppose, now you can let me quickly copy this. You can even do this way or you can even do it in a other way. Let me show it to you. So this is a assignment. You can do it. Ten comma 2.57 comma Python language. Now let's run this. So it displays the same. Suppose we do this p1 equals to p2 equals to p3 equals to p4 equals to 66. Print of comma p2 comma p3 comma p4, and I said the memory address would be the same for all of them. So this is other way you can assign the variables. This is multi assignment, and this is single assignments. Thanks for watching, and please do like, share and subscribe, and hit on the bell icon for more updates.